but you can't go around thinking of her 1,000 times when you think you see her face in the crowd. Now she's gone, no way of ever knowing. Don't cry for me, don't cry, is what she'd say. Don't cry for me, don't cry. No more shopping in the hall, only empty spaces. Brand new kitchens, black and white. I feel the house is dying, and I'm inside. Now she's gone, no way of ever knowing. Don't cry for me, don't cry, is what she'd say. Don't cry for me, don't Every time I think of you, I just break down. I miss you more than I ever could
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday, the 1st of 2023. As I say in the title, we made it 7 days into 2023, and we opened up with Don't Cry, which was requested over on Patreon. Thank you guys for that, starring my sister in that video, who I've mentioned before, didn't even know that I was filming, or she did know that I was filming, but she says, well, she did say, "What are you doing?" I just said, "Oh, I'm just filming for my video that I'm going to do." But she really didn't pay much attention, and that just turned into the video. So anyway, it's been a while since we've seen Don't Cry with the video version. There's a lyric video version of it as well. But let me get you guys up on screen to see who is in the live chat room tonight. And we have Linda, Robert, Karen in there, Bonnie, Charlie, Carly, I think Bella, maybe I just made that up. And I think we had Margot through there, Lisa, Tammy, Robert, Jennifer, Pamela. I can see that Bob's about to go through as well. So it did slow down a little bit there for me to get some names, but then they do go through a little bit too quickly, more often than not. So hello everybody, and I do feel like again that I've forgotten to do something major in the setup of this live stream. but hopefully it'll all work out and we'll be fine. I've done the pick roulette and we will be aiming for one of those for next week. Let me get the likes goal up on screen, as I've just mentioned the pick roulette, and for tonight it's 340. That is our target, so if you can leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be fantastic to get us closer to that target. And let's get the live likes up on screen to see that it's a little bit wonky, and it looks like it says 18 at the moment, but I'm sure that is not the case. Let me move it over. There we go. It is 187, so almost to 200 already. Keep on hitting that thumbs up and we will see where we end up. Quick bit of maths. I know that we're over halfway at least, so we'll do a little bit more of that maybe later on, unless we hit the target really quickly, and then I can get away with it and don't have to do any sums. So let me get the names of my patrons up on screen as well, because they make this all possible in the first place, and you know who you are. They go across the live streams on a Tuesday and a Saturday. Live streams happened at Tuesday at 12 midnight and Saturday at 12 midnight is always the same time, and just check your time zone, type into Google what is the time in London, England, and you will be able to find what time it is here. But if you're joining me on the live stream, we can see that it's 9 minutes past midnight and 30 seconds, so 30 seconds away from 10 past midnight. So let's get organized on the screen. I think I've done almost everything. We need to get the donations tab up on screen as well. I always say that you don't have to donate. Just joining me is fantastic. But if you can't resist, then I think it's important that you know that between 35 and 45% goes to YouTube through the super chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link, and you can find that in the description below if you need it or if you want it. But like I said, just watching is great. Hitting the thumbs up is even better, and just commenting and getting involved in the chat room is even better than that as well. So if you can do that, it would be great. If this is your first live stream, hello, introduce yourself into that live chat room. That's all we do here. Just get to know each other and get to know the usernames, and occasionally see pictures of you guys up on screen as well. We will be having one picture later on, but head over to, if you are a Facebook user, the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on there. You can join that page and upload a picture if you want to. If you've got any cool merch of Wings of Pegasus, then you could upload a picture of you modeling it if you so wish. But that's where all of that happens. Getting into the donations that happened really early on, and quick hair update, I have booked in a haircut for next week, so never fear, I will be having my haircut. But like I said in the last live stream, I'm kind of liking having the longer hair here rather than having it kind of just floating above my shoulders. So it might be a case of just sorting out this fringe. As you can see, you know, if it was actually in front of my eyes, I wouldn't be able to see anything. So I've had to kind of move it off to the sides. And it's not a full scale centre parting, which hopefully, fingers crossed, I will be able to avoid until I have the haircut and get the fringe sorted out, because yeah, I'm not a big fan. Even though during lockdown I had no other option than to do a nice centre parting so that I could see, but not a big fan of the centre parting look on myself. It works with some people, I don't think it works with me. So that's the hair update done. And I think the lights or the camera, sometimes it makes it go really dark. I don't know why that happens, so I have to say to the camera stop, like that, and then I come back and it adjusts it, and then we're back to normal lights, you know, normal lighting. I mean, the lighting doesn't change in here, just the camera does change. I'm going to have to try and figure out what causes it to go dark. Did I do something? Maybe I moved forward too much and it changed the lighting. I don't know. But anyway, hopefully it's going to stay like this. But then if it doesn't, we'll just have to get on with it with the high contrast mode that it kind of goes into. Anyway, yeah, back to the donations that came in before we went live. There was one that came in from Paul for $5. Thank you for that, Paul. And the message was 286k subscribers. Congratulations, Phil. Please spike the likes all, y'all. Everyone have fun tonight. Orlando's sidekick, OSK. So thank you for that, Paul. Big plug of the mug. That's what we always do when Paul or Orlando donate, and I haven't been plugging the mug very much recently, but there you go, there's a plug of the mug. If you want to get your hands on any of the merchandise, then click on the tray underneath this video or click on the link in the description below and you'll be taken through to the spring.com store, and you'll be able to get your hands on hoodies and t-shirts and caps and mugs and other things. There are some special hats that I didn't know what they were called, and this is why I don't remember what they're called, but you've got caps. I think they've got dad caps is what they're called as well, and bucket hats. Is that what they're called? It might be that. That's the thing that I'd never heard of. I've seen them, but I didn't know what they were called, and you can get a Wings of Pegasus bucket hat, I do believe, over on the store over at spring.com. You can head over to wingsofpegasus.com as well. That's where Carla's merch is, and get guitar picks, earrings, necklaces, all that kind of stuff. So, right, keeping everything moving forward, we had another donation from Jennifer for $7. Thank you for that, Jennifer. The message was, Phil, if you were transported back in time in England, what instrument would you have liked to have played? Take care. So, I mean, I think you've got to go quite a long way back to go before the guitar was invented. So I'm just going to be really boring and say, well, I'll just play the guitar, because that's just what I was naturally drawn towards. And I think maybe, 1300, 1400, around that kind of time, I'd be safe. So before that, I mean, my knowledge of very old instruments is somewhat limited. So I don't know. I suppose the most basic thing you could do is hit something. So maybe a drum would have been in order for a very long time ago, such as, people and nations, well, not really nations, probably just people in countries that are next to each other going to war against each other, like Scotland and England. Then you'd have people hitting a drum. So maybe that's what I'd do, but hopefully I would go, if I had a choice, I would go back to a time where I wasn't required to go to war and actually fight against other people, so, especially with swords and doing it all that way. It's very barbaric, and I would definitely not like to go back to those times. But in terms of instruments, it would be just banging the drum. Hopefully not in those times of conflict, but any other time it would be playing the guitar, just picking it up. And pretty much, any stringed instrument, but guitar would be the preference. Thank you for that, Jennifer. Orlando donated $5 as well. Thank you for this, Orlando. And the message is, I missed the last 3 live streams. I am behind. Spike the likes. Lots of thumbs up. Thanks for backing me up, Paul. So, hello, Orlando. Thank you for joining us tonight. And he's missed the last 3. But, I mean, that was the New Year's Eve and Tuesday's live stream, and then Saturday. Oh, no. The last 3. Today's shouldn't be counted in that. So, it'll be probably, the 27th? I think we did one then. I lose track of what's happened over Christmas and the live streams that we've been having. But yes, this is another thing, getting into the videos. I was going to do a video last night, and I did a video, but unfortunately it wasn't the video that I wanted to make, because the software that I use for isolating, vocals and instruments and all that kind of stuff wasn't working after an update. And thanks for all of the messages and the advice as well as to what to do. But unfortunately, where people say about making a backup of your system and downloading an older version of the software, what's happened with this is that, first of all, it has to connect to the internet to work. So you can't use it offline. And this is something that is really annoying and is starting to become the norm for programs, even like Photoshop. And programs that I would use offline that you used to just be able to buy for however much it was, and then you get to use it. And that's the point, is that you've paid for it, so you're using it. Whereas now it has to get connected to, I'm not sure what Adobe is, but it might have the cloud service or something, which on my PC, by the way, it always has a problem. The program, you have to keep reinstalling it. It's an absolute nightmare. So anyway, it has to keep connecting to the internet. So the problem with this program is, no matter what you might roll back to, and you can't actually roll back to anything anyway because they've just redone the whole software, and this is the whole point of the update. It's like they're getting rid of the old software and bringing in the new software. But even the old software, if you were to try to start that up, it would connect to the internet and then start updating automatically to this new version. So there's no way of, rolling my system back to a version that worked, because the version that worked, you'd start it, it would connect to the internet, and now it's updating to the version that won't work. So yeah, it's just an annoying thing that a lot of programs now have to connect to the internet and you can't use them offline, which is very frustrating. Like, if your internet goes down, then it means that you can't actually use anything on your computer that you've paid money for. This is what's crazy, that you pay for the software and you can't use it. And whatever, it is stupid. What other situation in your life would you ever have? Like, say for example, I've bought this mug and I go to drink it, and then somebody comes and takes the mug away, says, no, you can't drink it at the moment because you're not connected to the internet. I said, but I bought this mug to drink out of. I said, oh yeah, but you got to wait for your internet to come back on and I'll let you drink out of this. It's absolutely crazy. But anyway, that's the world in which we live in, as I always say on the live streams, this crazy world. So yeah, it wouldn't happen in any other section of your life or department of your life. When you've paid for something, you then own it, so you can use it. You don't have to wait for an internet connection to then use it. But that's the way software is going, and obviously now they're charging you for the software every month, like $19.99 a month, rather than just like it used to be, you pay, sometimes even just 40 or 50 quid, and then you own it. They say, oh no, now it's in perpetuity. You're going to keep on paying £20 for the rest of your life to use this one program. So yeah, but this is the problem, and something that I'll have to find a way around, and I'll be doing that, or I've been trying to do it this weekend. I'll be hopefully sorting it out next week so that I can just keep moving forward with the videos, but certainly a bit of an annoying start to 2023 because technical issues just really put a stop to everything. And let me just say to you guys, thank you for all of your support. And even though you don't have to donate during the live streams, your donations that really do help, because of the change in the tide with technology. I'm having to pay for everything every month, even the programs that now don't work. Obviously, I will be cancelling it, and I've already uninstalled the program, and I'll have to cancel the charge every month. But because I'm being charged monthly for these different programs that I use, it means that it is a constant outgoing, and you can't just pay for it once and that's it. So your support is massively appreciated for allowing me to keep on doing this every month, and each year as we get through them. They do seem to be disappearing very quickly, but then another one comes along. So we'll hopefully have a better year on year, even though we've got these little setbacks that do happen. Hopefully it won't be too long before we're back to normal and pushing forward with the videos. Anyway, thank you, Orlando, again for the donation of $2, and the message was, problems with hair? None. It helps having none, with a smiley face. So thank you for that, Orlando. And yeah, well, this is something that we could talk about hair for a very long time, but some people like to have hair, some people don't mind losing hair, or some people like to shave their head even if they have got hair. And I think it's getting to the point now with technology that, I say technology, but medicine, where if you want to keep your hair, then I think you can do. I mean, especially if you're maybe in your teenage years and you know that, pretty much every guy is going to have his hair fall out at some point. So it's just doing what you can to, keep your hair from falling out. And yeah, I mean, there's loads of, obviously being into hair, there's loads of different things that, I've looked into and researched that's really interesting. What seems to be really interesting for me at the moment is this, it's called, I think, Perfect Hair Health or something like this. It's a website where this guy who does it, he is... it's like these studies that happen. He's like an independent, I'm not sure what they're called, but any official study that's been put into, medication or anything to do with hair research, he's a peer viewer, independent peer viewer or something of the studies that happen. So anyway, he says on his website that he started losing his hair. And the thing is, he's not selling any products. This is the thing, that you'll see all of these products where they say, amazing trick that made all my hair grow back. All of this stuff. I mean, to my knowledge, there's nothing that can grow all of your hair back. You might get 2 or 3 hairs that come back on a particular treatment of some sort, but yeah, you're never going to grow all of your hair back. But this site that is really interesting, and I'll keep the hair talk to a minimum, but keep it quick, that he said that the older you get, the tighter your scalp becomes, and because of the scalp being tightened or constricted, it means the blood can't flow around the head as it normally does, and therefore the hair follicles can't get the same blood supply that they usually get, and therefore the hair follicle starts to die and then your hair falls out. And he said it might be the reason why a lot of people who have lost their hair go very shiny. Like their head is almost like, a reflection. You can see light off the top of their heads because it is so tight, the skin on their head. So, I mean, all he says is just he has this massage routine that he goes through, I think, like 20 or 25 minutes twice a day in order to keep the scalp loose and to stop it from tightening up and to stop your hair from falling out. So, that's something I do find really interesting. The only problem that I have is that if I was to try to do the scalp massage, you have to do it really firmly with your right hand and your left hand, but I've got an out of action right arm at the moment, so I can't even do what it is. But I did find that really interesting, just because of when I think about guys that have shaven their head or have gone bald, it is really shiny on their head. It's really tight, the skin. So yeah, I wondered whether, it could be some correlation. Maybe he's speaking a bit of sense, or because he's totally independent and not pushing a product, he's just telling you what he's found in the various bits of research. So yeah, I think maybe in another 10 years, people and guys will have the decision to make whether they want to keep their hair or whether they don't mind losing it. They can make that decision and just go for either one that they want. So anyway, I can see that we've gone a little bit dark again, but it doesn't matter. We'll keep on with the slightly higher contrast, or maybe I'll reset it again. I'm going to be doing this, I don't know what I did in order to make it go darker again, so maybe you guys can just keep an eye on when it goes darker, tell me what I did, and we will see. Actually, we haven't got these lights on, sometimes that helps. Let me put that on. Maybe that's going to keep things going and keep things light. So right, let's get back to the live stream chat rather than the hair chat, and let me just jump into William's donation for $10. Thank you for that, William, and the message was, congratulations, keep growing upward. So I will try my best, and thank you, William, for that donation. There have been some donations over on PayPal, and I am just going to first of all find where my mouse has disappeared to. And now we have it. Nicole donated £10 and 7 pence. Thank you for that, Nicole. And the message is, hello, Phil. With you is always a cool time. And I am trying to learn English in live stream and other videos. Phil, rock and fun. Great cocktail for the weekend. Much of love. So thank you for that, Nicole. And we have one that came through from Tammy as well, and this was slightly earlier tonight for £20. Thank you for that, Tammy. And scrolling down, the message is, hi Phil, congratulations on hitting 286k subscribers. What are your most favourite types of music? Give me 3. So thank you for that, Tammy. Well, first of all, I mean, I could just cheat and say classic rock, hard rock. And rock. No, but I would say probably, I don't know how I would kind of rank them, but obviously, hard rock, but I'd just say, rock as a genre. Blues, obviously. Maybe not obviously, but blues. As for, I would probably have to say pop, just because of all of the music that I was subjected to when I was younger by my parents. They listened to a lot of mainstream music and obviously a lot of rock and blues, but yeah, a fair amount of pop, pop rock as well. But I'd have to probably say those three, just because of, growing up, when I got into playing the guitar, I got into a lot of blues players and rock players, listening to Jimi Hendrix and Gary Moore and those kind of guys. Then I got into more kind of hard rock and Van Halen. Obviously, I think every guitarist has listened to Van Halen and listened to what Eddie did on the guitar and has tried to figure out exactly what he was doing from just listening to it, which was very difficult. And it pretty much went along those lines. So those are the three. Obviously, metal, you could argue, or I could argue that in the 80s, people who referred to metal and heavy metal, I think nowadays people see metal as something different, as a lot heavier, whereas back in the 80s, metal would now maybe be considered as a kind of hard rock sound. So you've kind of got that crossover between the genres. But anyway, thank you for that, Tammy. I would have to go for that kind of rock, hard rock, blues, and then that pop rock, maybe pop, just because of melody. I mean, you can't deny the amount of melody that is in mainstream pop music, because that's what connects to most people, and that's why it is most popular. So thank you for that, Tammy. And Deborah has donated £5.72. Thank you for that, Deborah. And the message is, congratulations, 286,000 subscribers, and I see the goal of 300,000 in the near future. Rock on, and more cowbell. So thank you for that, Deborah, and you can never have enough cowbell. And I mean, maybe we will see where we end up by the end of this year, but I don't know, 300,000, I mean, it's still 14,000 people away, so that's a lot of people. But maybe 2023 will be the year for the big three, 100,000. But thank you, Deborah, for that donation. And Cindy has donated £23.80. Thank you for that, Cindy. And just going to scroll down because there's a message with this, and the message is, hi Phil, now you have $30,030,030. What do you mean? We can't trust everything we see on Google search. So thank you for that, Cindy. This is referencing something that we said in the last live stream, what I said about all of these things on the internet, about I think somebody mentioned, I can't remember who it was, maybe on Facebook after the last live stream, that they typed it into Google, and this time it said something like 1.7 million, which is a little bit more reserved to the 13 million that it said before, but obviously still wildly outrageously inaccurate. But apparently 30 million is I don't know how they work this out. I mean, I've got a car, but in terms of the things that I own, and you think, how do they get to these random, or maybe they're just saying what you are worth as a person on the planet. I don't know how it works, but it's definitely not based on assets or things that you own, or what you actually could be worth if you were to sell everything that you own. It's just crazy is that they pick these random numbers out. And even on my car, I'm still paying for that, and I will be for the next 5 years, I think. So I don't even have the car yet. I don't own it fully, so I would not even be able to sell that. So $30 million and $30. Thank you for that, Cindy. Obviously for the $30, not the 30 million. And if these people that say that I'm worth that have that, I'm more than okay, as I said last time, for them to deposit that in my bank account. So thank you for that, Cindy. Right, let's move on, because Karen donated £3.97. Thank you for that, Karen. And the message is, hi Phil, just for fun, from the Book of Questions. If a crystal ball would tell you the truth about any one thing you wished to know concerning yourself, life, the future, or anything else, what would you want to know? Thanks for all you do. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that, Karen. And I mean, I don't know whether everyone would give the same answer, but my question would be, what is it all about? I mean, like everything. Life and death and the universe and where the universe came from and whether there is a God or how many gods there are, or if there is just one God, how many other gods don't exist. So yeah, I would just want to know what it's all about. Like how is everything and why is everything? I guess that's the question. Why is everything? It's not a question that makes sense, but it makes sense to me, but the question that I would ask is the biggest question. I don't think really, I mean, maybe asking what is life all about, but that could have a different question. I want to know the answer to everything, like why it is what it is. And for me, it's, I mean, this could be a really deep live stream, but for me, I think that if this has been set up like life and the universe and somebody has created it, it's the perfect creation, because it might be the case that humans, no matter who they are or what we do, we can't not ask questions. We need to know the answer to everything. It's just intrinsically human to ask questions and to evolve and want to know everything. But what if whoever has created the universe and everything inside it, what if they know there aren't any answers and we are searching for the answers? But that's why it's the perfect setup, because there aren't any answers, but we can't help but try to find answers, but we're potentially searching for something. But again, this would be part of my question. I want to know the answer to all of this stuff, but yeah, who knows? And I mean, this brings me to that Curse of Skinwalker Ranch series that I was watching, where there's this, I don't know, anomaly in the sky that, messes up all of the equipment, and then they've seen things flying around, the mesa over, and, miles away, but also apparently disappearing into this anomaly. So yeah, there's loads of weird stuff going on in that particular part of the world, and that's over in the USA. And yeah, fascinating series. I do find that really interesting, but that's the kind of thing I want to know all the answers. So thank you for that, Karen. So that's what I would ask the crystal ball, whether it would tell me the answers or refuse to tell me the answers. Who knows? But thank you for that. Tracy has donated £15.87. Thank you for that, Tracy. And the message is support of artist Phil Henley. So thank you for that. And yes, that is me. So yes, never fear. It is me just doing everything on the channel, doing the videos, doing the live streams, doing the video editing, doing the music, doing everything that you do see on the screen and off the screen. It's all just me. So thank you, Tracy, for that very kind donation. And William donated £15.87 and said donation. So thank you for that, William. And Karen donated £39.67. Thank you for that, Karen. And the message is, thanks for everything you do for us. And no problem. Thank you guys for everything that you do for me, watching the videos, tuning into these live streams, and yeah, just getting to know each other in this live setup that we have. And just looking over into that super chat window, because I think there's one more in there that has come in from Theratas, who has donated $5. So thank you for that. And the message is, Reverend Ernest Angley healed people by a camera shot of his healing hand. Maybe you healed someone. So thank you for that. Oh, that's to do with the camera. So yeah, I mean, that kind of linked in to what I was just saying about wanting to know the answer to everything. But thank you for that. And Orlando has donated $5 just a second ago. Thank you for that again. And the message is, as late US politician Benjamin Franklin once famously stated, there are only two sure things in life: death and taxes. So thank you for that. And it is certainly true. You're never going to avoid those two things as much as people try. And this is another thing about, we've discussed before about, getting older, and people, especially in the public eye, and celebrities who start to try to reverse the, I say reverse the clock of aging, and I don't think it's something that you're ever going to be able to stop, because when people start to have plastic surgery, they start to look like they've had plastic surgery. Something's a little bit different about it. And I mean, the human mind is amazing because it can spot any tiny difference in somebody's face or just an expression and think, oh, they look a little bit different to how they used to look before. So yeah, this is another thing that I see getting older as a privilege. And you know, if you do start to get a few more wrinkles and things, I don't think you should worry too much about it, because yeah, everybody gets older, so we're all in the same boat. But anyway, thank you for that, Orlando. And Summeriz19 has donated $4.99. Thank you for that. And the message is, happy to see and hear you. The best of 2023 to you, Lizzie. So thank you for that, Lizzie. And yes, starting to feel a little bit better, and the voice is gradually on its way back as well. I'd say it's pretty much there. It doesn't feel too bad at the moment. I didn't make my cup of tea before going live, but I don't think I'm quite as dependent on it as I was before. So yeah, things are becoming okay. I think maybe still I'm going to rest it a little bit, because it's not 100% the voice, but yeah, it is a million times better than it was. But thank you for that donation. By the way, we have a vote going on in the live chat room for the cover video for tonight, which is between Sweet Emotion and Lay It on the Line. And I can see that Sweet Emotion has 53% of the vote so far. So if you can just click on that, you'll be able to hear the song that you prefer out of those two. But at the moment, where are we? It's almost 20-1, so we will be jumping into that cover video very soon. So you know that we have had some other donations over on PayPal, so thank you guys for those, and don't worry, I will get through all of them. JR Beasley has donated £31.74, so thank you for that. And the message is, congratulations on your channel, Phil, from an old lady in Dallas. So thank you for that, and I hope everything is good over there. And I mean, we said on the last live stream about there being crazy weather all over the place and it being really hot in Europe and all that kind of stuff. I know that the USA has had certainly its fair share of extreme weather in actually, you know, the end of 2022, but you know, probably I think maybe starting 2023 as well. Here we've had, I was going to say severe wind, but it's almost like gale force winds, so that you can hear the wind outside kind of whistling, and then when it rains, it obviously pushes the rain against the window and it's really loud. So yeah, we've had some extreme weather and, you know, flood warnings, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, let's see what the weather holds in store for us in 2023. But thank you for that donation. Joe has donated £10 as well. So thank you for that, Joe. And just scrolling down, because the message is, hi Phil, they say that every picture tells a story, and so does every guitar. Or at least there's a story behind where and why and how you got a certain guitar. So it might be interesting to hear the stories behind why you acquired the ones you have, for their sound, playability, or for a particular song / genre or whatnot. So thank you for that, Joe. And yeah, well, it might take a long time to say all of that, but briefly, my Fender Strat, well, actually my first guitar ever was Tanglewood Nevada, which I still have, and that was, I think, when I was maybe 13 or 14, something like that. I remember that when I used to go to school, there were other kids who were having guitar lessons, and I didn't have guitar lessons, and I would kind of sneak into the music room and find if any guitars had been left there, and just quickly kind of pick one up and kind of play through and try to kind of figure it out, because I didn't have a guitar at all at that point. And then I had an acoustic guitar. It wasn't my guitar. I think that was my sister's. Yeah, my sister got a bass guitar, and she didn't play that, so I started trying to play the bass, but I was, you know, very young at that point, probably only 9 years of age, and the strings are too heavy for my hands are too small, so I couldn't really play bass guitar properly. So then, I mean, it was a full-size bass, so no wonder. And after that, she got an acoustic guitar. So then, I mean, she didn't play that. So I started to try and kind of work out things on that. But again, it's quite hard going because I was young, had very small hands, still have small hands, but not quite as small as when I was kind of 9 and 10. And when I was, 11, I started to kind of get into it a little bit more seriously. And kept on working at the acoustic guitar. When I was 13 or 14, I got a Tanglewood Nevada, and that's my first electric guitar, which was amazing. When I was 19, I got my Fender Strat, and that's the white Fender Strat that I then customized in order to have a heavier sound, so that I had the twin blade pickup on there, Seymour Duncan pickup, that's just going to give you that heavier sound. And that's what I wanted for playing live, but just the kind of music that I was into. But I still wanted to have my Fender Strat and just the standard pickups on there in the middle position and the neck position, because I like the sound. So anyway, that's my Fender Strat, because Jimi Hendrix had a white Fender Strat. My dad had a white Fender Strat, so I just wanted a white Fender Strat. Then my Ibanez that I've got there, I bought that for, again, playing live, because it's got humbuckers on there, and it was heavier than my customized Fender Strat. So that's what I got, and started playing the Ibanez live, and that was kind of my go-to live guitar. And then we've got the guitars that Mario sent me as well, which is the Maton and the Steve Vai. Oh no, it's on that side. The the Steve Vai Signature Gem and the Maton acoustic, semi-acoustic, electro-acoustic. So yes, a big thank you to Mario for those. There are other guitars, but those are the main ones that I play. There's some Tanglewood acoustics knocking around as well. So thank you for that, Joe. And I did see just before we went live over on Patreon that there was a message from Joe, I think with some backing tracks on there, so we might be able to do that later on, even though it's 1:45 here. So let's move things along a little bit quickly. So thank you for that, Joe. Kim has donated £11.61. Thank you for that, Kim. The message is, hey Phil, let me get this up on screen so you can see it as well. Hey Phil, you mentioned that your dad played guitar. Is that where your interest was piqued? And did he play professionally? Are there others in your family who are musically inclined? Cheers, Kim. So thank you for that, Kim. And no, he didn't play professionally. He kind of was in a band, or wanted to be in a band, and started on keys and then started playing the guitar. And he was heavily into sport as well. So he used to play football at quite a high level, and I think he played football, or soccer as you call it in the USA, pretty much his whole life. So I mean, that's something that I gave up when I was, I think, 20 or 21, because I just wanted to focus on music. And I thought that you've got to really focus on something if you want to be successful at it, and you just got to really just have that dedication to that one thing. And that's what I decided to do, was just to focus on music, whereas my dad did lots of other things. So he was in a band. He did enjoy making music, and still enjoys making music and playing guitar, but it wasn't something that he did professionally. It was just a recreational thing, as it still is for him now. So my mum also plays a little bit of piano, but she wouldn't admit to that. She'd say that she doesn't really play piano at all. She wants to learn how to play the piano, but she can carry a tune, which I think is quite an important thing, that being able to just hold pitches and know where notes are is something that, I mean, my sister is very good at that as well. I had to kind of learn to sing. I think it's something that I've learn to do, rather than having that natural ability to just sing. First of all, I think it's just taken me a long time to be able to learn to do it, but I do believe that you can learn to do it, because it's something that I've done and I seem to be able to get away with it. So I'm the only one, I think, that's kind of really focused on music in the family, to a point where I wanted to do it professionally. It's something I wanted to spend my time just doing all the time, and try to make money from doing it if at all possible. And it's just something that I was dedicated to and worked towards just every single day. So I'm definitely the only one in the family who's done it every single day, and with that mindset, rather than it just being a recreational thing to do in my spare time. So anyway, thank you for that, Kim. And Maria has donated £1.59. Thank you for that, Maria. And the message is, hi Phil, sorry, I've missed a few live streams. Hubby has been in the hospital and he's back in again. Spike those likes. So thank you for that, Maria. And sorry to hear that, but don't worry, there's always going to be the live streams. Just take care of the important things, and I'll be here, and the guys in the live chat room will be here as well whenever you're back, whenever it's convenient. So this is the thing, we live stream on Tuesday nights and Saturday nights, come rain or shine. I mean, pretty much we never miss one. I think maybe COVID was, when I kind of went through the COVID thing, was the only time that we've missed a live stream in, I don't know how many years, maybe 4 years, 5 years, something like that, something crazy. But now that's out of the way, hopefully we can have a very long run going into the future. So let's jump into tonight's cover video. Let me end the poll to see which one has won, and I think it's going to be the one that had the most votes when we last looked at it, at Sweet Emotion, with 53% of the vote. So we'll get this up on screen, and this is myself and Chris Law, who you would have seen in the live chat room. Actually, when I first played this video, he joined in the live chat room, but it's myself and Chris doing our own version of Sweet Emotion. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll see you after. Rock!
1, 2, 3, 4.
And there we have it. That was Chris and I with our version of Sweet Emotion. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. And, you know, originally the Aerosmith version, I mean, a little bit different. We kind of arranged it a little bit for the 12 string and the 6 string, and obviously kind of, I mean, it's one of those songs that has harmonies in it anyway, so we didn't do too much of that, but I hope you guys enjoyed that anyway. And I can see that we have another donation in the Super Chat window, but let me just get through this because we had one that came through from Richard for $20, so thank you for this, Richard. And the message was, Phil, I had Tracy Nelson check out your video on Ricky Nelson. She loved it, long time member, great job. So thank you for that. And yes, Tracy messaged, I think, quite a while back after the video that I made on Ricky Nelson. And I mean, this is the great thing about doing the videos and the videos getting out there quite a lot, that I get contacted a fair amount by the people that I have featured, and maybe, you know, members of a band that I might have been, you know, looking at. So that's cool, and certainly something that at the end of last year with, you know, Billy Idol and Steve Stevens, and then Steve came on the channel, and that was all just, you know, Steve seeing a video and checking out the channel and liking, you know, what we do here. So I mean, that's great. We are building bridges, kind of professionally, I guess, between musicians, but it's great that you know, we can have that reach, and that musicians can just get together and, like with Steve, just join me on the channel and give us some pearls of wisdom about playing the guitar, and, you know, how he approaches it and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's all great, but thank you for that, Richard. And Orlando donated $5 again. Thank you for that, Orlando. The message is, does the England have issues with grade or high schools cutting back on or not finding school music programs? I am just curious. So thank you for that. And I think, I mean, I would say in my experience, definitely music is not something that is, certainly wasn't for me, accessible at school. I didn't enjoy the music lessons. It's not something that I found particularly interesting or enjoyed, as I just said, because it was very much, and I think this is probably where most schools and the teaching goes wrong, is that it's so kind of theory based. And as a kid, you know, I probably would have enjoyed it if it would have been melody based, or something where you can sing along and do something, or just play on a keyboard and you're trying to play the song, that you're even just trying to play a simple melody, trying to find which notes will play that melody on the keyboard in front of you. So yeah, that I just didn't get it. It was just way over my head, and I think I must have been 8 or 9 years of age. So kind of after that, because my dad did play guitar, I used to listen to him playing the guitar, and then kind of got into the listening side of it and what the music was doing, how it sounded, rather than, you know, looking at, you know, dots on a sheet of paper, and, you know, having a music lesson where there's literally no music. You're just looking at dots on a page. You think, well, isn't this music? I mean, what is this? Is writing. I want to do music, not writing. So yeah, this is, you know, unfortunately I didn't really get into music, and certainly with, you know, instruments and how much they cost, all those kinds of things, a lot of schools do cut back on it. But I mean, music, you don't need instruments. You can learn to, I've already said, you can learn to sing. Everyone can learn to sing. So even in a music lesson, if I had a, you know, class of, you know, 10 or 20 kids or whatever, I guarantee we could do something musically in that lesson with no equipment. It's, you know, it's sound and it's expression. It's not about getting your pen out and writing things down, because it doesn't sound like the pen's not making a sound when you're writing, but when you use your voice, you can make a sound. So yeah, unfortunately, I think it's just that double-edged sword of not having the funding, not having good teachers. This is going to be a triple-edged sword. Not having the funding, not having the teachers, but just not approaching it the right way, not making it interesting or making it accessible to the kids. So many kids lose interest in music because, like me, they just didn't enjoy it. And because of that, I know how I would approach it and how I would teach it. So anyway, thank you for that, Orlando. Leah has donated $19.99. Thank you for that, Leah. And the message is, howdy from Nashville. So we had a picture from Nashville in the last live stream. So yeah, check that out. And that was Billy and Paula who were getting together there. So check out the last live stream. I did say that was over on the Wings of Pegasus supporters page. You can see the pictures that were uploaded there. So check that out, the page, but check out the post if you get a chance. But thank you from that, and hello to Nashville as well. Orlando donated $2 as well. Thank you for that. Again, the message is despite the likes, even after the goal is met. Or is met. So thank you for that. And yes, but we have to wait till after the pick roulette to start the entries. So don't enter into anything yet. Jennifer has donated $5. Thank you for that, Jennifer. The message is, Phil, has the man who sang that song you did with your friend ever heard your version? Love the 12 string. So thank you for that. And that'll be Steven Tyler from Aerosmith. And I don't know. I think probably not, because it's not something that just happens. People hear your version of their song. It's kind of a 1 in a billion chance of them actually checking it out. And even if you're trying to get it heard, they probably still won't hear it anyway. So I gave up with that a long time ago to get people to actually try to hear my covers. I thought I'd just make the covers, and if people like them, then great. And if the person who performed the song originally gets to see it, then great as well. But I don't know. I doubt it strongly that Stephen has seen that video. So thank you for that, Jennifer. And we are going to be jumping into the pick roulette very soon. But Kim donated £10 over on PayPal. So thank you for that, Kim. And Karen donated £2.38. Again, thank you for that, Karen. The message was, hi Phil, thanks for showing me your palm. I can tell that you don't have a stressed out hand. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that. But stressed out hand, I suppose the hand isn't what you're worried about. It's the rest of your body that's stressed out. But I know what you mean. So thank you for that, Karen. And Lynn has donated £59.51. Thank you for that, Lynn. A very kind donation. And I'm just going to scroll down because the message is, do you think that Skinwalker Ranch holds the answers to all questions? Or is it the case there are no answers, only more questions? So thank you for that, Lynn. And that's almost like a cryptic question. But I think from just what they're doing there and the fact that it is science-based and all of the experiments that they're carrying out, it is giving them more questions, because they always do a test and the results that they get from the test leaves them with another question, and it's just going round and round. New test, no answers but more questions. And I mean, that's why it's interesting, because you hope, us as humans, we hope at some point that there is going to be an answer. But the other thing is, what if we get an answer and it's an answer that actually changes the world because it was too much of an answer? Say, for example, that they find, okay, there is a portal in the middle of the sky that other beings are using to visit Earth, and then they go through that portal and it's over to somewhere else in another universe, another galaxy, somewhere billions and billions and billions and trillions of miles away. If we find that out, what does that mean? That those portals exist and that travel is possible, and all of our technology that we have is absolutely rubbish, and we think we're really clever, but actually we're not at all. It would totally change everything in the world. Well, maybe it wouldn't. Maybe we're so stubborn that we would still be focusing on killing each other, which is a human's favourite pastime, apparently, when you look through the history of our species. So, you would hope that we'd think at some point, okay, there's something bigger than us here. We have to actually get together and try to work together to actually be part of the universe and join in with the universe, rather than having our own planet and just doing what we do, not only kind of breaking the planet effectively, but destructing ourselves. Anyway, thank you for this, Lynn. And I think we're just getting more questions, but they are interesting questions. And Kim has donated £11.61. So thank you for that, Kim. And I'm just making sure that we get to the Have we got that on screen? I think it is there. Hi Phil, what size guitar are you playing on your cover of Sweet Emotion? Chris's looks like a dreadnought and yours perhaps an auditorium. Also, are you doing the higher or lower part of the harmony? Love from Canada K. So thank you for that, Kim. And yeah, I'm just playing my Tanglewood acoustic guitar, and it's just standard. And Chris is just playing a 12-string acoustic guitar, and again, that's just a standard size as well. And I'm singing the high harmonies in that song, so yeah, I'm hitting the high notes, and yeah, I think is kind of up there in the male tenor range. So luckily, I mean, I'm not kind of belting it out. I'm using, I would say, a lighter head voice kind of sound, so that it's not. I don't know, it's not overpowering. I think it has to be kind of lighter. When you're singing harmony lines, you want them to blend quite well. Rather than being two separate lead vocals, you want to have two voices that work quite well together. So that's kind of what we were aiming for, singing those harmonies. But yeah, I was singing the higher line. So thank you for that, Kim. Right, let's get into tonight's Pick Roulette. And I just had a flashback in my head to the requests over on Patreon. Somebody said they wanted to be a top tip, and maybe I just imagined reading this, but there it is. Teresa said, I want to be I'm always too slow in the live chat. She's saying I volunteer for top tip, so it will be Teresa Howard as our top tip for tonight. And good that I didn't imagine that. Right, let's jump into tonight's Pick Roulette, and I'll catch you guys in a second. Rock. So let's get the wheel up on screen, and there it is. Right, if this is your first Pick Roulette, the darker segments here are the t-shirts. If we land on one of those, then we have a t-shirt roulette. And if we don't land on one of those, and we just land on a name, somebody goes away with a signed Wings of Pegasus pick. Now, I'm trying to see if I can see Trace's name anywhere, but I can't at the moment. We're just going to give the wheel a spin, and we're going to see who is going to win. And yes, a lot of people have won, but a lot of people haven't won. We do have some people who have won twice, and if they've won two Wings of Pegasus signed picks, then they go in for the t-shirt roulette. This is sometimes where you see people type I agree t-shirt. It's when they've won two picks. But anyway, a lot of people haven't won one yet. So anyway, I mean, talking about t-shirts, we are close. It's just going to bypass the t-shirt. Okay, right, is it going to be Tom? It always goes on a little bit further, but it is Tom. I think it is, well, I know it is random, but I think it's a bit random as to how slowly it stops, because it seemed to stop quite quickly there. Tom is the winner for tonight, so congratulations to you, Tom. If you can let yourself be known to Carla in the live chat room, that would be fantastic, so that she can get everything that she needs from you, details wise, to get the Wings of Pegasus pick sent off to you. Commiserations to everybody else, and I can see Teresa saying laugh out loud. See, it took me this long to get back to the live chat, so thank you for that. Yeah, congratulations Tom, commiserations Teresa and everybody else, but I always say double your chances of winning by tuning in on a Tuesday night and a Saturday night, because we do have a pick roulette whenever we hit the target for the likes. So now we're going to open the entries for next week's Pick Roulette, and I always type in here the example of at Carla Murray to tag Carla in that comment. Right, my caps lock isn't working, but I do it. You don't have to do it in capitals, but I type it in capitals. Carla Murray being tagged in my comment, and then I agree. So that is the example. You'll be able to see it going through now. So, oh yes, Vince just reminded me, pictures. Thank you for that, Vince. And just one picture for tonight, or at least I have picked up one. Let me scroll down, and I think there was, maybe I've missed the picture that has come through from Vince, because I have this one from Diane, and I remember at some point having a picture of Vince, but yeah, for some reason, whenever I save them to my computer, rather than it listing when I save it, it lists it and it says like past 7 days, and it'll show me all of the documents that have been saved in the last 7 days, which of course doesn't help me at all because there are too many there. But anyway, this is the one that I picked out tonight. It is Diane, but I will check for the picture with Vince. And yeah, I think it was Vince with Sandy. Maybe I'm going crazy here, but yeah, that was a picture that I remember seeing, but we haven't seen it on the live stream. So anyway, this is from Diane. We've got some Wings of Pegasus pics here and some guy holding a guitar. So thank you for uploading this one, Diane, and also for linking me to it. I do say that Carla and Laura do link me to the pictures over on Facebook, so thank you guys for that, and Vince for doing it in the past as well, and to Bob for hosting the after party after the live streams over on the Facebook Wings of Pegasus supporters page, which you guys can get involved with if you want to join in. Just go to that page and click join. Right, and that is the picture for tonight, but I will have a check through to see and make sure that for next time we will get any pictures that I might have missed out. So, right, we have opened the entries and actually did that. I'm just going to check something. Oh no, the live chat room would have still been on screen when we looked at the picture. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't just obliterating everybody entering in for next week's Pick Roulette. So yeah, type I agree in that live chat room. Now, what we tend to do is, I did mention earlier about Joe sending me some links in the Patreon. It was on a Patreon message. And by the way, quick plug of the Patreon site. That's where all these people at the bottom of the screen, these lovely people who are patrons of mine and make everything possible. This is, where we hang out basically, and where they can message me, and this is where Joe's messaged me with some tracks or some backing tracks. So I'm going to head over there and click on that and open it in another window. So we have a list of, I've got to get into the messages first, so bear with me here. Just going to scroll down. Okay, right, yes, here's the message. So I think, oh, hang on. That was the previous message. Right, we've got different styles. We've got jazz / fusion style, progressive style, ballads, and 80s hard rock. So thank you for these, Joe. I think we'll just click on... we'll start at the top. We'll click on jazz fusion. We'll click on...
if you're learning guitar...
That's going to be an advert. So let the advert play first. But I think I might have clicked on the second one and not the first one. But anyway, let's skip the ad. Take it back to the beginning. And this is coming from... Benjamin Harrison's channel, and it's a jazz funk fusion jam track in A minor, and it's called The Traveller. So we will be jumping into this now. Quick disclaimer: as a hard rock blues guitarist, anything jazz funk fusion based is always going to be a little bit of an experiment, and you never know what's going to happen, especially with changes, and you don't know how much it's gonna... there's probably going to be some changes considering that it's jazz, but we're just going to have a go along with this, and I'm not sure what the levels are going to be like. So anyway, we'll have a go at trying to play along. Let's see what happens. But thank you, Joe, for this list. I think it's always good just to try and test yourself as a guitarist. Just whip on a backing track and just see what you can do. Like, even kind of knowing that it's in A minor, that helps, but we don't know the changes, so I guarantee it's going to be a little bit more involved than that. So yeah, just play along, see what happens. As for the levels, I don't know how this is going to sound. I'll be looking in the live chat room to see if you can let me know whether the levels are okay, whether you can hear my guitar, whether the backing track needs to be louder. I have to make sure I can actually hear the backing track to begin with. I don't think that's... Okay. Okay. So hopefully you can hear that. I don't know. Okay, we've got a change going on here. I think we're going major. Okay, so now we're prepared for that change when it comes in. That's a bit of a low blow going from minor to major, saying that it's in A minor. But anyway, I think we did go major there. Sounds like we had a little pitch bend on the keyboard there. A little bit of a breakdown here. Heavy? Well, not exactly heavy. so tempted to throw in a little bit of kind of kind of Chuck Berry type stuff when we go major. Hey, and there we had it. Okay, I mean that wasn't too bad, but I mean that's the kind of thing that you will get sometimes. There'll be a change in there, and you're not expecting it to begin with, especially a change from like a minor when you've been in that A minor, then going to major, and then having to make that change, and then it's only just over 6 minutes for the backing track. And then just remembering the progression for the next time. So yeah, there were bits in there where we kind of went a little bit jazzy with some, semitones. But then again, yeah, you can do that, and just because it's jazz, you can just call it jazz and get away with it. But yeah, so I mean, cool backing track. Like I said, it's good to be outside your comfort zone for a little while. And I mean, what I will do is, I mean, this is a Benjamin Harrison, the channel, Jazz Funk Fusion Jam track in A minor. The Traveller is what it's called, but I'm just going to take it back because with hindsight, this would be a good backing track if you're like, when we get, I don't know where it is in the changes, but they've actually got it all written out on screen. But I don't like to kind of look and take myself out of the playing and the music to look at what's going on. I'd rather kind of just, obviously have to look over sometimes to see how long's left of the backing track. But this would be a good exercise to take your major shape, and what I've said in videos before is when you then go major, go from your minor shape, just take it down 3 frets. So let me have a listen. So A minor here. So now we kind of find. So there, what we did was so I was in my minor pentatonic shape here, and then I went into my major shape, just move it down 3 frets. So I mean, once you know the change is going to happen, you can just do that. But I kind of just like to play along and make it up as you go, and just try and find the melodies on your fretboard and in your head, and just see how it goes. So yeah, it'll be a good one for that, and you can apply that to everything. So when you are kind of working your way through, and I know that with jazz, the changes in jazz are always set, or they're known beforehand, because especially when you've got some changes that happen that are a little bit out there, and you're going to a chord that nobody expects, if you don't know that's going to happen, there's no way that you can go with that. You would have to listen to the chord first and think, oh right, what's the chord? And you'd have to kind of find your place. So yeah, I mean, some of the stuff is great with the changes, and kind of, yeah, it's great to kind of know every chord as you're going along, but sometimes it's good to put on a jazz backing track and not know where it's going, because it's a real test of your playing and your extemporization, and just kind of knowing your fretboard and be able to sing through your guitar. So yeah, it's definitely a test. But thank you, Joe, for sending that over my way, and thank you guys for tuning in for to tonight's live stream and for your company. I am going to be calling things to a close now. I just want to make sure that we are up to date with everything, which I think we are. So Orlando donated $2, Jennifer donated $5. I'm not sure if we got to this, but I will just mention Phil, has the man who sang that song you did with your friend ever heard your version? Oh yeah, we did that, Steven Tyler. And yeah, so thank you guys for joining me tonight. I'm going to endeavour to make a video tomorrow if I can work my way around this software issue that I've got. We'll just do a different kind of video, so I will be doing something tomorrow night. We're going to be live streaming on Tuesday night as well, and that's 12 midnight Greenwich Mean Time as always. Anyway, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of the weekend. Big shout out to the moderators for doing such a fantastic job. And if you guys are watching in the catch-up crew, you can still hit that thumbs up. It really does help the live streams to grow and for the live streams to get out there a little bit more. But a lot of likes tonight, so thank you guys for those. And have, a great rest of your weekend, like I said. And I will catch you guys at the next one. Rock!